Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe.
So, on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite, the debuting Paul White, formerly known as Well, It's the Big Show in WWE, sent the wrestling world into speculation overload as he revealed that at AEW Revolution this Sunday, AEW would be unveiling a brand new Hall of Fame-worthy signing. Now, the more logical among us speculated names such as Kurt Angle, or Batista, or Mick Foley. However, a popular option, as commented on yesterday's news episode by Safa Rehan and Alec Piver, was that he would reveal it to be none other than himself, turning heel in classic Big Show fashion. However, Tony Khan seems to have put a dent in that particular option as he spoke on the AEW Unrestricted podcast, confirming that Paul White was actually Paul Wright. He's Paul right now. A major star in the world of wrestling, a huge star is going to come and sign a multi-year contract with AEW on Sunday at the pay-per-view, so I can confirm that what Paul said is true. Khan also revealed that the reason that they are signing so many legends for Elevation is so they can work with the younger talent to get them ready for TV, almost like they'll be elevated. But as with any surprise related to AEW, fans automatically went to the CM Punk train of thought, including our own Mr. Davis, the bloody mark.
Is it Punk? I'd be like, he wouldn't come back. He wouldn't come back on a show where there's not that many fans. But then look how he came back to WWE.
I was going to say, he debuted in an empty studio with Paige clapping. That was his big return to wrestling. I mean, yeah. It could be.
But not so fast, young Davis, because Punk himself has publicly and repeatedly denied that it's going to be him at AEW on Sunday. Taking to Twitter in one of his semi-regular Q&A sessions, Punk denied he would be the one appearing on Sunday in the opening tweet, saying, "Let's try this again, Q&A time. Use hashtag #AskPunk, and no, it's not me." But of course, that's exactly what someone who was appearing on Sunday would say. So again, Punk responded to a fan who had to clarify whether or not there was a possibility of him appearing with AEW, saying, 100% not me. And yet here we are talking about it. And as it's not him, he was asked who would be the best acquisition for AEW in his place, to which he responded, "I think they should focus on who they have," which is not how you build WCW 2, is it? Is it CM Punk? What do you know about making another WCW? Nothing. He was also asked whether he gets frustrated having to repeatedly shoot down rumours about himself anytime AEW teases a surprise of some sort, to which he said, "Nah, I get it. It ain't all about me." But what if it is? What if it is? Because sleuthing internet fans did notice a similarity between a tweet that Punk put out and one of Tony Khan's, because Khan tweeted, "I just had a long talk with a good friend and I'm going to make a significant change to one of the matches for AEW Dynamite tomorrow night, live on TNT Drama." And on the very same day, Punk posted a tribute to Eddie Guerrero saying, "Was just talking to a close friend about all he taught me and we were breaking it all down." What if they're each other's close personal friend? Like the Spider-Man meme. Now let's hop over the fence and talk about WrestleMania, because WrestleMania season is a time to reap the rewards for all of those storyline seeds you've been sowing throughout the year to create some of the most exciting wrestling matches you can muster. Unless, of course, some seeds someone else has been sowing get in the way of those plans. That's a baby-making segue, because I'm talking about Lacey Evans. In an interesting new report from Fightful Select, it was revealed that Lacey was set for a huge road to WrestleMania before the announcement of her pregnancy took her out of action. First and foremost, she was set to defeat Asuka at the Elimination Chamber and win the Raw Women's Championship, an idea which can get in the bin in my humble opinion. She was then to continue her feud with Charlotte Flair under the guise of bonking her dad until at least WrestleMania, likely culminating in a huge match at the show, blonde on blonde action with a Hall of Fame blonde watching over the whole thing. It's Vince's wet dream. Sadly, instead of getting to watch Vince have an erotic aneurysm, we're getting a rematch of Asuka and Charlotte from WrestleMania 34, and likely Chaz is getting another run with the Raw Women's Championship, isn't she? Before we get into that season proper, we've got to get Fastlane out of the way on the road to WrestleMania, and currently blocking the exit is a pile-up around the Women's Tag Team Championships, because many people assumed after their match on NXT this week that Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, who literally had a rematch clause baked into the finish, would be getting a shot at Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler at that pay-per-view. Well, we are getting a rematch. It's just from Elimination Chamber, as WWE have announced that the team of Jaxler are going to take on Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks at the show in 2 weeks' time. Now, the Bossiest team's last shot at the titles was overshadowed by various shenanigans with Reginald the Sommelier, which led to the SmackDown Women's Champion being pinned on pay-per-view 2 months before WrestleMania. Good booking. And as ever, the theme on Banks and Belair's side is, how will they coexist? But this time it's coexistier, as Belair officially challenged Banks to a match at Mania on SmackDown, and Sash had the temerity to say that she was the best, and that means you're second best. How we laughed at that crap promo. And if none of that was getting you excited for this match, consider this. This is also the third match between these pairings and continues the trend of the women's tag titles being used as a heater for singles feuds. Yay! One silver lining could be that Kai and Gonzalez might get their second go around, just at a different show, because NXT TakeOver Mania Edition is just around the corner, currently booked in for Thursday, April the 8th, 2 nights before the first night of WrestleMania kicks off on the Saturday. And apparently WWE officials are considering something they have never done before, because according to Mike Johnson for PW Insider, the company are considering holding their first ever 2-night edition of the event. Thank you very much, I'll take some of that. Saying there's been talk of the show being the first ever 2-night takeover, with part 1 airing on WWE NXT TV on the USA Network Wednesday the 7th, and then part 2 continuing the next night on WWE Network. But with a month to go, that idea could change or evolve. Card subject to change. There might not even be a card. But a 2-night takeover would certainly leave plenty of time to book a Kai and Gonzalez versus Shania rematch for one night of the pay-per-view. And with reports also circulating that NXT is moving to Tuesdays after Mania, this could also be the final edition of NXT on a Wednesday night. So going out with a bang would be the way to go. We've already discussed it here, but WWE's booking heading into Mania feels a bit like, what? Really? This year? And for the last few years, there's definitely been a last-minute air to the direction they're going in with their biggest show. And we're not the only ones to notice it. Former Raw GM and one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, Kurt Angle, and newest AEW Signing, if all the rumors are to be believed, also spotted the trend during his time there. On his podcast, The Kurt Angle Show, cleverly named, he talked about what it was like creatively in the company during the busiest season of the year. He said it was really hard to guess who was going to wrestle who. Things weren't structured out as neatly as in prior years. They usually have the WrestleMania cards by December at the very latest. This one wasn't ready for quite some time. I don't think they put together the whole card entirely till the week before WrestleMania 35. So if you were wondering why the builds these days seem rushed or truncated, then your answer is right there, because stories back in the 90s and the early 2000s had a little bit more room to breathe because they were quite obviously decided earlier. Let's hop back over the fence and talk AEW a little bit more now, because they've got this huge show coming up this weekend in Revolution, if you didn't know, and it is a blockbuster weekend for one Darby Allin, who teams with his long-lost father, Sting, against Team Taz. Now, while career-wise teaming with the Icon is a big moment, it is actually a night off defending the TNT Championship for Darby, as his next competitor will be decided during the Face of the Revolution ladder match earlier in the night. Or on the night. Maybe not earlier in the night. I just think it's going to be earlier in the night. And now the showdown with this new #1 contender would then be set for Dynamite next week, but adding a little bit of drama and a little bit of a caveat for Allin, who has a tendency to do quite dangerous stuff, especially in street fight type matches, was Tony Khan, who said on the AEW Unrestricted podcast that if Allin is unable to defend his TNT title for any reason, come next Thursday, he will be forced to forfeit the belt. Now, this could be nothing, but it could also be sowing the seeds for something that happens during that street fight. Team Taz have recently carted Darby off in a body bag, so if they happen to kidnap him again ahead of Dynamite, there is definitely some will he, won't he concede excitement to build into Dynamite. Elsewhere on AEW this week, Shaq had his big tag match against Cody, which helped Dynamite score its biggest viewership of 2021 so far, pulling in an average of 934,000 viewers, an increase of 103,000. Meanwhile, NXT managed an average viewership of 692,000 viewers, a drop of 42,000. Interestingly, AEW's 18 to 49 rating actually dropped by 0.02 to 0.33 despite increasing massively in viewership. So it seems that the added viewers that were pulled in were outside their usual 18 to 49 demo. NXT's 18 to 49 demo rating actually went up by 0.02 to 0.20 despite dropping overall viewership. But with Revolution this Sunday, you'd expect viewership and demo to pop up again for AEW next week. One of the matches on that card is the Young Bucks defending their tag team gold against the team of Chris Jericho and MJF. And ahead of the match, MJF appeared on last night's Wrestling Daily, where he ripped into Alex McCarthy, and most importantly, little nugget, Louis Dangle, after he mentioned the name Sammy Guevara twice in front of MJF.
So you just said his name twice, Louis? 2 times?
I did, yes. I did, yes.
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
I apologize.
Are you not aware that we don't say his name anymore, or is that just something you didn't realize? I figured that'd be easy for you. You probably read all the Harry Potter books like a complete nerd. I'm sure you're fully aware of the situation with Voldemort. Correct me if I'm wrong, Louis.
I do know who Voldemort
is. Did you read Harry Potter? Yeah?
I did.
I'm sure you jerked off to Hermione in the movies.
You can watch the full episode, including much more swearing and ripping into Louis, by clicking the video on the right, and subscribe to Wrestling Daily while you're there for more daily wrestling. It does what it says on the tin. You can also press the video below that to find out more about this Hall of Fame worthy signing coming to AEW. Subscribe here on this channel for daily wrestling news videos that I almost got through saying without messing it up. I've been El Fakador Laurie Blake. You jam that jampion. Jam that jam.